How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we work together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build a positive mindset. My name is Henry, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how to be your motivation. If you are someone that wants to accomplish things, but it seems like you just can't stay motivated or you can't stay focused to see it to completion, this is going to be the episode for you, because we're going to talk about how you can create that version of yourself and then see the goal through. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So you can pick a word. It can be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something with that frequency. And then once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. Well, we're going to take one more deep breath. This one is about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you were surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And then once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So before we dive too much in this message, I want you to really pay attention to me. If you have been listening for a while and you've seen the progression of the podcast, it should be a reflection of my progression as I expand into who I want to be. This version of me that I'm trying to create, that is abundant in all ways. Abundant in peace, abundant in prosperity, abundant in forgiveness, abundant in love. Like, that's the version of me that I'm trying to create. And so as we start doing that, there's what we put in our head, like who we're trying to be, and then it's the actual creation of it. And I can tell you in my personal life, like interacting with people, interacting in business, all of those things, I'm seeing the changes. And I was doing some reflection over the past few days, and I realized that the podcast, the way that I'm communicating to you, hasn't changed. It has been the same for the last little while, and it's time to take that expansion even further. You see, when you're trying to create something, when you have a vision, you have to take steps forward. You have to reflect and make sure that you are expanding in all ways. So what you can notice that's different now is I'm trying to add more passion, because I am very passionate. I care so much about you, because I believe the more successful you become, the better my life will become. The ultimate goal is to achieve our highest selves, which is abundant in forgiveness, in love, and passion, and all these amazing things. And when you become that, you become the ultimate servant, meaning you become so abundant within you that the only way to continue to grow is to give to those around you. When you're looking for that true energetic growth, that's what happens. And so when I meet somebody, when I talk to somebody, it naturally comes out. Because not only do I see who's in front of me, as I get to know you, I see who you truly are, the fullest version of you, and you know that that version is there. And so what we have to start doing is taking that self and making it real. So I was thinking about, how do we do that? How can we get past the positive speaking, get past the motivational podcasts, and into the creation in your daily life? Because you can't tune on the podcast every moment that you need to. You can't find a motivational quote every time you need to. You need to travel and have your highest self ready to serve you at every single moment. And so I started thinking, how do we do that? And the simplest way is to write it down. Write down the highest you. What type of money does the highest you make? What type of love does the highest you give? And by love, I mean, are you loving everybody? Do you have forgiveness for everybody? Do you have love for yourself? Are you treating yourself in the highest regard? Meaning you don't do things that don't serve you. You do things that serve you. That's your food choices, your mental input, the things you watch, the things you read, the conversations you have. Do those serve your highest self? And create that on paper. Take that paper every single day, like write it down every single day, put it in your pocket, and carry your highest self with you as a reminder, as a totem. So that way, when you're lost in decisions, when you're not aligned with the you that you can be, you can touch that paper and remember, that's my higher self. They're there for me. They're ready to help pull me into the expansion that I'm trying to achieve, the expansion that you are meant to be. You are meant to be something amazing. This world, the pain that we see, the struggle, the hurt, it's because we're not being our highest selves. If we believe in things like the law of attraction, that means when we see wealth piled into a small group of people, they are utilizing that law and we are not. But they do not have a magic power. They do not have something different than us. They are just focused on that energy. But we can shift. So it's not about taking, it's not about winning, it's about becoming this higher self and then the others becoming it so that we can create something that's never been seen. My success is only good if I can bring other people with me. Your success is only good when you bring other people with you. The journey you go on is your journey. You do not have to create a podcast. You do not have to be a speaker. You do not have to be someone that's in the public eye. But your energy has to be high. The people you're around fill your energy at all times. Does your energy bring people up or does it bring it down? If it's currently bringing people down and bringing yourself down, give yourself some forgiveness, because the healing, the thing that you can create on the other side of this, is needed. So don't think of it as, I'm this person that's bringing people down. I've struggled. I'm this person that just can't seem to get it. I'm this person that can't seem to make it happy. I'm the person that can't seem to make people want to be around me. Don't think like that. Think about it as, I am a high-level being. I am powerful and I am here for a reason. And so I came to a place that would be full of struggle, full of hurt, full of confusion, full of doubt, full of trauma, so that I could grow within that, expand, and then give the world the opposite of that, which is powerful healing. Give yourself the vision of something bigger than your past experience. Give yourself the vision of something bigger than you can even imagine. The world is better when you're your best. And I don't mean better as if it's bad now. I mean, the world is more in alignment with the highest frequency. The world is healing when you're healing, because we're not different than the world. Where did these bodies come from? Where do these bodies go? When you take care of yourself, when you elevate yourself, meaning you're healthy, your mind is healthy, because what is your mind? Your mind is just a receiver, it's just part of the body. When you are no longer inhabiting this body, it goes back to the earth. So healing yourself and raising the vibration within this part of you is essentially healing and raising the vibration of the earth, because it's all connected. And all of us connect with the earth. So when you become the healed highest version of you, your energy that you now create is plugged into the earth and other people get to receive it. There's so much more than being the most prosperous version of you than just what you get. It's what the world gets, because when you do it for love, you will give that positive energy. You can be this high, amazing version of yourself. You know that it's there. It's ready. It's waiting. You can be and you will be powerful. These have been specific episodes Not everybody is listening through, because we're not talking about dealing with the trauma. We're not talking about getting from negative to positive. We're talking about expansion and being this high version. So this is unique. If you're linking into this, you're on the path. You know, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're a doctor, if you're a dentist, if you're in sales, if you're in retail, if you're a CPA, a fireman, a police officer, whatever you are, you can bring excellence of positive energy. Expansion is happening in all ways. Healing needs to be where you are, especially if you're hurting. That's the indicator that you need to bring, and that you get to bring, positive energy to where you're at. That voice in your head is the key. When you write those things down and you put that piece of paper in your pocket, every time you start to shake, every time you start to fall off of who you can be, who you will be, your highest self, you touch that paper and you say the thoughts in your mind. You visualize your higher self showing up right next to you, grabbing your hand and saying, "You are powerful. You are abundant. That thing does not serve you. You are wealthy. That thing does not serve you. You have vision. You have expansion. Let go of the fear. That does not serve you." That's what you can be. That's who you will be. You're on the journey. You're still listening right now. That means you are on the journey. When this podcast ends and you go back throughout your day, carry that self with you. Imagine the effect of somebody that you deal with every single day. Maybe it's a family member. Maybe it's someone you work with. Maybe it's a friend. Imagine the experience you would have with them if they started acting this way. If they started being their highest self. Every time you interacted with them, you felt the compassion that they had. You felt the powerful perspective that they had. You felt the wealth that they were building within them. You felt the forgiveness, the love, all of this energy every time it was radiating within them. Imagine the connection you would then get to them. The excitement you would have every time you are in their presence. Be that for them. It's not about doing it for you. When you heal yourself, of course you benefit. But if you want more of that healing, if you want to be abundant in that energy, you have to do it for others. You lift yourself up and then you constantly give that frequency. And when you get in the flow state, you don't run out. You are completely abundant in it. So think of that person, whoever it is, and then be that for them. Be endless in that frequency. Be fearless in your pursuit. This experience is all you have. The world might be crumbling. Maybe that's metaphorical, maybe it's real. But the shift that can happen right now can change everything. Tomorrow is not written in stone. There are people trying really hard to create their version of what they want. Why wouldn't we be in it? Why wouldn't we change things as we need them to be? Why wouldn't we create a better future for our kids? Why wouldn't we create a better future for the generations to come, where they look back and they say 2023 was a powerful year because people started waking up. People started enlightening themselves. People started becoming abundant. And then with technology, they created this euphoric experience that was so amazing. And the world has never been the same because love won. Healing won. Compassion, forgiveness won. That's what's at stake. That's what you're here to do. That's who you're here to be. So let's raise our vibration and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and kept going with that positive mindset energy to keep you motivated to create this version of you that you can be. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link in the description. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. There's also the Positive Mindset Facebook group. There's a link for that as well. Please join it. We're doing some lives. We're having some great conversation there. So if you want to join, there's a link for that as well. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. This episode